This XFL Playoffs and USFL Week 2 Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Shady Rays. Shady Rays is having their best deal of the year. Go to shadyrays.com and use code SGPN for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses, and go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady to enter the Shady Rays Parlay of the Day contest. We're also brought to you by SGPN's Draft Week. All week long, SGPN has you covered with draft props, mock drafts, and our live NFL draft watch party. So make sure you smash that subscribe button at youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast.
Hey, this is Jeremy Roenick, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan. Real money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
I'm just here for the parlay. What's going on? We got my Shady Rays on.
Yes.
What else do I have to do?
Well,
Talk to me.
First off, we got to introduce Colby Dant, aka the Dantimist.
That's less important than the parlay. There's money involved here.
Yes, we are running a special contest with Shady Rays. Shady Rays Parlay of the Day. Very easy to do. Step one. Get you 2 pairs of polarized shades, shadyrays.com. Use the promo code SGPN, get 50% off, and then you take your receipt, you go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady, you enter it there, and then every day of the NFL draft, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're going to be doing a $50 parlay, and if it hits, you guys get the cash. Just that easy. Again, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady. Enter there. You're entered to win if the parlay hits. So you get the sweat of the parlay, and then the sweat if you end up getting drawn. So plenty of time to enter. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady.
Can't wait to bet on those parlays as well.
Oh, I know, because we're sitting here again. Thursday, tomorrow is draft day.
Honey, I won't be home until very late Thursday night.
It's going to be a 3-hour plus live round one.
3 hours.
Well, maybe 4 hours. How long is it?
I mean, I have a sheet where I try to project. Again, it's 10 minutes per pick. They thankfully brought it down from 15. 4 hours feels like if we're out of there in 4 hours, it's been a good.
Well, it's
night.
not like the Oscars where they can speed things up and play guys off. It's going to be a long night, a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm excited. So I'm excited to see the booing of Roger Goodell. Sean, we will be standing and cheering when he comes on stage.
Yes, because we're Team Goodell. Love Goodell. Best football league in the nation. And also, if you're watching live on YouTube, still time.
Not true.
Still time.
Well, it is
later today, 4:00 Pacific, kicking off our live mock draft. So our mock draft is the warm up, and then the full on. It's the foreplay and then the full-on penetration of the NFL Draft Watch Party.
I do love foreplay.
We're here talking spring football, talking XFL, talking USFL. Colby, what would you say is the greatest football league? CFL?
Oh, I mean, well, I'm a college football guy first.
But does
NCAA, that count as a league? I don't know how you deem that.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't see any sort of a collective bargaining agreements or
when they become employees, then they're officially a league.
Okay. Well, then I'm okay. Then I don't really like leagues.
I knew you were gonna have an anti-league take.
But you do like Goodell. You're a pro Goodell.
He's a terrible human being.
He's
from my city too. All right,
Colby, on your off-season assignment desk is a top 10 NFL owners.
Oh, there you go. That's fun.
Of all time or current?
Top 10, or you can just be creative and say top 10 shittiest owners of all time. Any way you want to take it.
I said for a long time, guys, that we should be having drafts.
You can include
scumbags.
How about this? You can include owners from the spring leagues. There you go.
Tom Dondon.
So
that motherfucker.
He ran off with the AAF. We still haven't figured out where he went with that money.
Maybe they deserved it.
757's finest saying the kings of spring football. Easy in the chat. Always enjoy hearing Easy. Always a good day when Colby graces us with his beauty and his picks.
Hey, appreciate it.
Easy. And then Easy just spits in your face by saying Arena League is top tier.
No.
So he really knows how to get you all worked up.
Yeah.
XFL is nice, according to Adrian Kennedy. And speaking of nice, you know how I like to start off the show with a good tout. Finishing the regular season 21-15 against the spread for 58%, 67% on my dogs.
What do you mean?
Or sorry,
finishing?
67% on the locks. Finishing the regular season,
Right.
and now we're moving to the XFL
There's
playoffs.
3 games left. Why don't we just bundle them all together?
I've guaranteed myself a profitable season in the XFL.
We need to talk about this though. So
So have I.
hilarious this league, the XFL, right?
Wait, hold on.
I mean, both these leagues absolutely hilarious at certain times here. What's going on?
My plan. I didn't prepare this plan very well, but my plan was to switch back and forth between XFL and USFL logo
And I just
overlays as we discuss it.
And I did realize in the intro, I did say USFL Week 2 picks. We were doing USFL Week 3 picks, although my record would be almost the same if we redid the USFL Week 2 picks.
Wow.
Because I did go 3-1 against the spread. Colby, what were you saying?
So which one are we attacking first?
We're doing the playoffs, baby.
Okay, well
Playoffs?
the XFL.
Wait, we're doing the playoffs first?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have the X? All right, we're on the XFL.
So the XFL. I don't know if you guys watched the games this weekend. It was pretty hilarious. Because
What do you mean you don't know if I watched the game?
Well, I know you're coaching soccer, and
I was sweating out my Brahmas 50-1 future. They lose to DC by 1 point. They would have been in, right? Because the Roughnecks
best
won.
kicker in the league misses the field goal, right?
But they would have got in the playoffs then because Houston.
Yeah, but who knows if Arlington plays their guys?
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true,
like
too.
it changes.
lot of like the future would have changed.
But what I found hilarious was the St. Louis game. So St. Louis, scores like 54 points or whatever it was, 52 points.
Bloodbath. Great Guardians pick, guys. Congrats.
Fix job.
Yeah, well, this is what's great.
Apologize.
This is what's great.
Colby
We had
talked me
gone
into
over the rules. J Mark, not just myself. J Mark, me, CJ. We had read them on air, right? And we're watching the Vegas Seattle game, and the announcers, first off, they don't even know.
Oh, of course,
right?
Of course.
And then they're changing the website, adding shit to it as the game's going on.
The
right?
XFL website.
Yes,
is
they're
changing.
like they have changed the actual tiebreaker rules, and we're like, wait, how is this? How are you doing this? What's going on here? Now, it made it so we had no idea what was happening in the Seattle Vegas game. I feel like everyone that had done their homework on what the tiebreaker would be, we were all kind of in the dark on like, well, I have no idea. So Vegas just intercepted the ball. Danucci just threw a pick. Does Vegas have a shot at?
So what's the end of the story?
End of the story is Seattle's in.
Well, I understand.
I don't understand it.
No, but what was the tie? What did it end up being the tiebreaker that got them in?
Well, no. I think it was still the point difference, but they added more shit to it. Is my point? Is like I don't know. Even I'll put it like this:
Can we get on the horn with Deep Throat?
When we did our XFL reaction show, right for week for the week 10, we had Seattle Sea Dragons fans in the chat that didn't know that they were in the playoffs.
I gotta be honest. This is a real black eye.
Real whodunit.
Real black eye for the league and all the media covering the league. Colby's laying out a reason why you shouldn't listen to the XFL gambling podcast. Giant waste of your time.
What are you talking about? We broke the news to him that his team was in the playoffs.
Broke the news to him.
And Ben DiNucci continues to let everyone eat. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, setting up for, and somehow again, the XFL supposedly rigged according to you guys. Dwayne Johnson would never agree to a fixed match.
Well, look, when you're adding tiebreaker rules while the game is going on.
Well, but here's the thing: if they were trying to fix it, St. Louis would be in.
True.
And the one team in the XFL with the fan base didn't get into the playoffs.
Oh, DC's got the fans too.
DC has fans.
Man, maybe that's what they said. We'll make it. I don't know. It was just weird. Why have
and
that
St. Louis
situation
looked
come up?
awesome. Like that tight end. That guy deserves to be in the league. All right, let's get to it. Let's talk XFL picks.
Are you done with the banter?
Yeah, I have a USFL one too.
All right, we'll get to that when we talk about the USFL, and we'll have a brand new look for everyone. Let me flip up the XFL sheet. So, just real quick, you're securing the regular season bag, even though the playoffs only consist of 3 games.
Yeah, because even if somehow I go 0-3 ATS, that would still make me 21-18 ATS, aka profitable, aka.
Or are you playing against profitability or me?
Okay, yeah, I guess
playing against profitability could be a team sport. Playing against me,
I'll go against you.
Fuck yourself sport.
I'll go against you. I got a 1-game lead going in. We're talking just overall, not lock, because that's kind of a bloodbath. If we're talking.
Well, usually you get started with your locks.
Locks are 67%. So again, if you want a sure thing, my locks have been hitting at 67%.
Wow.
Is that Mike Loxley over there?
Oh wow! I also don't know
Bagel
if that,
and locks.
I don't know if that principle applies to the USFL. 3 and 1 big one, unfortunately. Arlington, the Renegades, taking on a Houston Roughnecks team that I still can't get into these uniforms. I got to be honest. It's the most.
The XFL really failed at that.
You can't.
All their uniforms suck.
Here's the story. You can't make perpendicular lines intersect at like parallel points to the earth. So you can't have like a horizon thing and then another. It just doesn't work.
No, they punted on all the uniforms. It was like they went to like. I mean, it was like, okay, wait, guys, we only have 2 days to do the uniform. Somebody quickly design some uniforms.
No, they probably just took the templates. This is a Texas on Texas battle being played in Houston. We're confirming home field advantage will be had here. Houston laying 6.5 minus 245 on the money line, plus 205 for the Renegades. 41.5 is the total. I know when we were discussing it on the show and I said I was going to go bet the Arlington future, I actually make all the bets that I talk about. Unlike other people out there in the universe. So I am sitting here with a 10-1 ticket on Arlington to win it all, which means
I have a future in Arlington.
Let's be conservative and say, that means for it to get to 10-1, we would need like another like plus 300 in the championship. So I'm probably better than a mechanical at this way. Do I hedge?
No, because they're going to be in the championship game.
Come on, Ryan. Hedging's for pussies.
It's important to have these because the way that it's important to have this conversation because I'm sure someone else is having this same conversation because they got down with my Arlington bet with me and they're probably thinking like, damn, I could lock up some money. That would involve being a little bit of a pussy.
Yeah, I don't even know how you hedge. Like, do you bet on? So you would bet on the other 3 teams?
What do you mean?
How would you hedge out your Renegades future?
By taking what do you
do? You bet on Houston. It's just to hedge out your like so you're
but you're not guaranteeing if you bet on Houston to win. Obviously, you're not guaranteeing yourself a win there. Then you would also have to bet on Seattle and DC futures.
Well, yeah, it's a 2-stage hedge, but what you do is in the first stage you would hedge out your risk. I wouldn't. I'm not going to do it. Obviously, the price makes it hard to do.
Yeah.
But
dude, Arlington's going to win this game.
Colby keeps telling me they're the best team in the league.
They got the most experienced quarterback in this game.
Arlington's going to take on Seattle. I don't want to spoil it, but Arlington's going to take on Seattle, and it's going to be a glorious Danuch fest. Everyone's going to eat.
Yeah,
I mean, Arlington's interesting. They've hung around. They seem to hang around and get losses. They lost to the Defenders 28-26 2 weeks ago. Obviously, the Week 10 game.
They kept it vanilla.
They were playing back to back because they knew they were going to. So essentially, they played them. This is going to be 3 weeks in a row. Arlington has played Houston.
No,
two.
Last week, yeah, it was the first.
They didn't know they played each other Week 9.
No.
Oh no, DC. I don't know why their logos look the same.
I could see making that mistake. I won't hold it against you.
Thank you.
But I do think Arlington's going to win this game because I think Houston, what they played Caleb Ellaby, Cole McDonald.
Houston's offense has just struggled. Like they're not putting up.
They peaked very early.
Yeah. I like Arlington
their
money
defense,
line play. Play this on the money line.
Their defense, I think, is pretty good though.
I do like the under.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like this is going to be one of those rare, ugly XFL games. That being said, I'm with Colby. I think you got to go Arlington here just because you're getting 6.5 points. I just don't think Houston is a team that's going to blow out a team like the Renegades.
Yeah.
Even though they do have home field. Do the Arlington fans travel? Do they have a?
Do the Houston fans travel? Is the question.
Will they show up to Houston?
It's tough because there's actual NFL activities going on this weekend.
Yeah.
So
not in Houston.
Kansas City's not that far away. You make a little road trip.
They don't have NFL fans in Houston, do they?
Oh.
I mean the Texans.
They
I'm sure they
clearly-
have Cowboy fans.
They clearly have football fans because
sure.
I will say
But-
going to Houston and spending just a little bit of time watching football in Houston, it did seem like there were an obnoxious amount of Cowboys fans.
True. That's what I'm saying. It's Cowboy Town. It's not Texas.
They have two spring league football teams.
True.
They're doing something right, Colby. Yeah, I mean, I'll take Arlington with the points here, obviously. And it sounds like you guys are advocating for the under.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I think this is going to be a ugly, low-scoring game. I think this is like a 17-15 type game.
See what Sean's doing.
They are playing each other for what? This is the third time, not third in a row.
Third time. Both these games.
Sean can't lose to me if he just copies my picks.
I was not doing that game theory, Ryan. I was earnestly trying to handicap the event.
Yeah, we'll see what happens on this next one.
All right. Let me pick. Let me pick first.
I'll let
I mean, you're gonna take the Sea Dragon, so I already know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm playing chess, not checkers. Noon on Sunday. We're heading to DC.
Electric environment in DC.
Yeah, Dan Marino's wife will be in the house.
Lemon party.
The Seattle Sea
Dan
Dragons
Marino's
taking
dynamic wife.
on the DC Defenders. Are they still serving full lemons in the lemonade?
I think
did someone
it
cue
was
them
like
in?
week 3 that the fans actually brought lemons with them, right?
Tired of having to buy these shitty drink from them.
You go through the metal detector. No, they need a lemon detector.
Oh, they have that at Dodger Stadium. They'll put you on the fucking pavement if you try to bring lemons into Dodger Stadium.
No citrus, essay.
DC Lane 3 -170 +145 for my Sea Dragons.
They played this game.
48.5 is the total.
Week
They
1.
played this game week 1
What
in
happened?
DC. DC got the cover 22-18.
You know how they got that? Ben DiNucci fumbled at the 1 yard line.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
I was there, and he tipped me off to being the turnover machine that he is. He coughs up balls left and right, and you can't do that against this Greg Williams DC defense. They're going to make you pay. They are going to get points off the turnover. A lot of times people say, "Hey, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in the same season." We obviously saw with the Eagles Giants that wasn't the case.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'm expecting a similar type blowout here in DC. Give me the Defenders in a big way. Seattle is just, I don't know, man. I see the excitement with DiNucci, but the highs and lows, you can't turn the ball over with this DC team. You just can't.
Yeah, they're calling for rain too, Sean. I gotta look. I could see a case where Seattle could cover this, but not
2
win the
games
game.
decided by a total of 4 points.
Yep.
DC's just the better team. Give me the DC Defenders.
And I think Seattle's a different team on the road than they are.
Sell the
at home.
team to Dan Snyder. Let's go.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against DC here, but obviously I'm going to be on my Seattle Sea Dragons. Again, I didn't bring it up because it's too much closing line value touting gets old, and I know it is draft season, but I mean, if Seattle plays Arlington, it's a +850 versus a +1000. So there's my hedge, motherfuckers.
Ooh, let's
go.
Hey, I have 3 futures on Arlington, Seattle, and DC, buddy.
That's Colby.
I also had Orlando at some point. In the league.
I gotta look at Colby's
I had
future.
4 of 8.
And I mean, before someone comes after me,
CJ Sullivan talked me into that one.
I apologize for not calling these games the South Division Championship and the North Division Championship. I know they'll be giving out rings.
Will they? Do they have a
for the division championships?
Now, why don't they
Yeah.
just call them conference championship? Because I guess obviously they are division, but
They need to
now,
call them conferences.
Do we have a ceremonial week in between the division championships and the Freedom Bowl?
They have the Extreme Bowl. But yes.
Wait, it's called the Extreme Bowl?
Yeah,
No,
USFL.
it's called the path where players play for a championship. They meet.
Do we
in the
actually know what the
championship.
XFL championship
That's
is
what they
called?
call it. They call it the actual crossroads. That's their
Yeah,
championship.
the
game.
crossroads to being a champion.
I think what we do as an organization is we start referring to it as the XFL Conference Championship for their championship game and the USFL Conference Championship, and we will be awaiting those two teams playing each other.
They actually have a name.
The $1 million game, the old school.
The $1 million game.
Back in 2000. Yeah.
Oh, now they're taking Vince McMahon's ideas. Now they're interested.
This is what the first and so far only completed league season's final game was called. The game happened in 2001 when Western Division champs Los Angeles
Tommy
Extreme
Maddox. Remember?
beat Western runner-up San Francisco Demons 38-6. That was a bloodbath.
Who can forget?
Nice little regional battle.
The unique name was derived from the winning team going home with a pot of $1 million, which would be shared among the players. Hence, each player would receive about $26,000.
Did that actually happen? Did they actually get that money? I'm curious.
So wait, I guess quote it remains to be seen whether the 2023 championship game will have the same name. They just put this article out. Why would they not? Why would they not have the answer?
To trap you.
Still not as good as the Freedom Cup.
I don't think you call a championship a cup.
I think they just call
the Grey Cup's older than the Super Bowl.
I think they're just calling it the XFL Championship game, which is pretty lame.
But it's the Grey Cup because they're Canadians, so that's fine. I just don't. I'm not.
They should go home with something extreme, like a flamethrower or something.
It's not an extreme league anymore.
Yeah, that
you're gonna bump into The Rock at a high school reunion. It's gonna be awkward as fuck. He's gonna be look. I hear you talking about extreme football. It's not extreme football anymore.
I go tell
you
me.
want extreme check Furious 34.
We went to rehab.
Right.
We got through that part of our life.
Tell me what XFL means right here, right now.
In recovery football league. Let's just. All right. So you want to do a lock and a dog here?
Sure. Your lock is Seattle. Your dog is Arlington. My lock is DC -3. My dog is a parlay of DC -3, Arlington +6.5. And of course, a reminder. Oh wait, that's the USFL touting. I confused it. Colby, what do you got? What's your lock and what's your dog?
I'm locking Arlington +6.5 and Arlington on the money line.
The rare double Arlington.
Yeah, double down, baby.
Double down lock.
Yikes.
All right, before we head over to USL, of course, reminder about Shady Rays. If you haven't gotten your Shady Rays, what are you doing? You're personally insulting myself and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network and yourself. You deserve great sunglasses. Go to shadyrays.com/SGPN. I was just texting with my cousin. He said when I took the kids down to Disney World, I was wearing another, and I won't mention their name, another brand of sunglasses. He was on the water slide. They fell off. They got all scratched up. I go, yeah, you screwed up. Should have had Shady Rays. They could have got you a great replacement pair. No questions asked. He wouldn't have to even to explain. I was on a water slide. Kid knocked him off. They got all scratched up. Doesn't even have to explain it because of Shady Rays' great replacement policy. And of course, the Shady Rays parlay of the day. Once you buy the Shady Rays, head over there, get entered in. I mean, imagine 1, you get 50% off 2+ pairs. 2, you're entered in to win some sweet cash from a parlay. Doesn't get any better. ShadyRays.com, promo code SGPN, 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. And of course, also Underdog Fantasy, UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN, 100% deposit bonus up to $100. And the SGPN Drafts Prop Contest, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. If you're in our Discord, it's just for the people in Discord. Again, Discord is free, and the props contest is free, $250 cash and a $50 SGPN gift card. Get in the Discord now. Sign up. Very easy.
Sean, really unrelated to spring football.
Yes.
But Zay Flowers is, as we're talking right now, being steamed down as the first receiver off the board.
I think that's related to spring football. Most Boston College players end up in spring leagues.
Zay Flowers to New England Patriots. The more I think about it, the more that kind of makes sense.
Local kid, I guess you could say.
I do like his game.
I don't know who knows with Belichick trying to pick out who's he's going to draft.
Him and his Huskies.
It's a fool's errand,
right? Him and his 2 Huskies sitting there.
What's his dog's name? Nike.
I don't even remember, but
Addison and Johnson now north of 10-1 too, Sean. So someone knows something. It's happening. Addison and Johnston are both. I've now seen his name spelled Johnston and Johnson in multiple reputable places.
I think it's Johnson. But
be wary of those TCU wideouts though in the first round.
Colby, is it Quentin Johnston or Quentin Johnson?
Quentin Johnston.
Oh yeah, he's down to 8-1. I'm seeing.
That's funny. An offshore book has his name spelled wrong. Yeah, I all right, let's talk USFL.
USFL.
My favorite pastime lately has been just looking at odds and just one
How
more.
about that
Hold on.
wager you hit on
I need to
last
tout.
week?
I need to tout.
Yeah.
Hold on. Because this is a new update. Devin Witherspoon, first cornerback, is now at minus 550.
All day. That was easy.
I got 2-1 on him.
That was easy. But you know what? I think Porter. I think Porter Jr. is going to be the best of them.
And you know,
Will Levis back to 10-1.
Pulling back the curtain, Sean, I did try to get them to put the first cornerback market on the experts draft, but those I hope they're not listening. Those cowards said no. All right. Well, I mean, it's anytime you're turning action down, I personally believe it's cowardly. Saturday, 9:30 a.m. Colby was. Did you before we get into the game? Do you want to talk about do we want to get back into the USFL Stadium situation?
Oh yeah. I mean,
you're telling me
I was very grateful for this
last week. Hold on, you're telling me that two teams played in a stadium that neither calls home.
Yes.
Oh my God, what the fuck are they doing?
So look, we
How
went
do you
through.
get
We
fans
knew we
into
had the
this?
Gamblers Breakers in Birmingham. We knew we had Memphis and Birmingham also in Birmingham, and then we knew we had New Jersey, Pittsburgh, and Canton because that's their hub, right?
Yeah.
Then I was under the assumption Michigan and Philly were in Detroit
What the fuck?
at that filthy roller rink, but. No, they ended up playing in Canton last week. It was actually I'm very glad that they did because it was raining and it was actually my favorite game to watch of the whole weekend. But I don't understand it because so then this week I thought, wait, is New Orleans Birmingham going to be in Memphis because Memphis and Houston's in Memphis? No. Now we're all at the hubs. I got no idea on the fucking scheduling side of this league, but just play the games.
So the team in Michigan that has a home stadium played the Philly Stars, who were they just trying to be kind to Philly to not like I don't know
because Philly's home is Detroit too.
I know this is very confusing. So if you're a Philly fan and you invested in a 3 month like a little short term housing in beautiful Detroit to watch
the Stars,
Wouldn't cost that much.
it's like being a roadie just hanging out in Detroit the whole
Well,
time.
you go check out the Hall
You
of Fame.
still had to drive to Canton to go watch your team play.
But and I'm so glad they did. That game was awesome, guys. That was by far the best
sure.
game of the week. Yeah.
I can't disagree with that take, but also, like, what are you? How do you plan on
Colby,
building a fan base?
We have to discuss your Memphis Showboats. Stallions put it on them 42-2. Everyone went 3-1. Kramer and Colby hit their locks. Colby hit his lock and his dog. I didn't hit my lock, but I did hit my dog, which was a 3-team parlay between the Breakers, Birmingham, and the Generals. Kramer hit his mega whale play of the Generals minus 2.5. So very, very profitable USFL.
It's no sweat.
But talk about the Showboats, Colby.
Well, this is my fuck up here. First off, everyone's injured. What happened to my mic? Oh.
What do you mean? Do you unplug yourself?
Everyone's injured.
Too hard.
Everyone's injured on Birmingham, right? So I thought, hey, there's no way to take Birmingham. There's no.
Well,
Bo
yeah, their
Scarborough.
quarterback out for the season. They brought in Sloter. They started Magoo, who had a good game.
Looked great. And
so good.
Bo Scarborough was out.
Yeah.
Remember, they lost Victor Bolden to the XFL.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, they lost Marlon Williams. Scooby Wright didn't play. And I'm like, okay, I got to take Memphis. They looked improved. You know what? Todd Haley's fucking terrible. And did you see the end of the game?
Well, I think we're right with fading the one formula we've gotten from the spring football experiences. NFL coaches who are coming in, especially NFL coaches who have a long pedigree of sucking. Those are the guys you want to fade.
Jeff Fisher was mediocre.
How about,
dude? The Panthers were bad. What are you talking about?
But
I
how
mean,
about
like
this,
in the NFL, he was mediocre.
He went to
can't
one
say
Super
Jeff
Bowl.
Fisher sucked.
He got the Y check treatment. Look, hold on. Let's talk about this. So they go to shake hands at the end. Memphis scored 2 points on a fucking safety.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only way you get to 2.
And so he's shaking hands with Skip Holtz, and he got mad that Skip Holtz called a play before the 2-minute warning.
No.
And he says, "This is what's great." He was like, "Oh, you didn't have to do that." And Skip's like, "Well, I'm just coaching football, man, right?" And then he goes, "Well, we're gonna remember that." I'm like, "Dude, you just scored 2 fucking points. You lost by 40 to a team with all their players out. Remember it all you want, man. You know what I mean? If I'm Skip Holtz, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You guys are terrible. Get out of here. Yeah, we're gonna remember that.
Right,
yeah,
so
you got a great track record in this league, Todd.
and I know I will say I wasn't trying to track scores in apps or anything. I was watching the game, but I do have a bone to pick with these motherfuckers in the spring football leagues. Like, how are your scores not in the readily available?
The USFL
places?
score, the USFL app is a piece of garbage. Don't download that. But the Fox Sports app, honestly,
that's what I
is
used.
pretty
Yeah,
awesome. It has the scores and it also has the games.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. But
I was
again,
gonna-
I
that
don't
was-
know why the USFL app doesn't have the scores. Delete that and just use the Fox Sports one. The Fox Sports app is legit.
Yeah, no, I used that. That's what I didn't even know the USFL had an app. Dude.
I
I think I saw the commercial.
I was using Remote God's Eye for a little bit, and then I had to focus on the kids' soccer
The app,
game,
dude, the app streams really well for the games.
and then I watched it recorded. I watched most of a USFL game after the fact.
I mean, how easy was that Generals play, by the way?
Again,
Never a game. 20 to 3.
takeaway. Here's the
It should have been
takeaway.
27 to 3.
We're in a situation now where one side of the playoff bracket is basically already set, and we're gonna have to see if Philly or Michigan are gonna hold this out for the rest of the season. Because to me, the game we watched between the Generals and the Stallions, but that will be the championship game.
I don't
unless
know,
something
dude. I'm
crazy
kind of sold
happens.
on Michigan, man. Because look, Fisher. Say what you want about Fisher last year. The defense was actually good. They were just on the field like the entire game. Now that they get rid of Fisher, the offense they can throw the ball, they can run the ball, and then that defense is still good. So I think they're a contender. Yeah, right now at plus 600.
Do we have any future prices for the USFL?
USFL's been guarding their futures. I'll
Because
see.
I do think the Stars are.
I have it right here.
The Stars
okay.
are an interesting. what are
Let's
the-
read them off.
So we
So
have Birmingham plus 200.
Oh my God.
Stars plus 425. Sean.
Really?
Michigan plus 500. The Generals plus 500. Breakers
Oh.
plus 550. Showboats plus 1300. Get on that one.
What's the
I'm
Showboats?
joking. Plus 1300.
No.
Then you have Gamblers plus 1400 and the Maulers.
See, I
plus
thought the
2000.
Stars would be a better price, so they're factoring in the Stars USFL pedigree because they're 1-1, and the Generals obviously looked really good.
The Generals
1-1, and then the Panthers are 2-0. So the Panthers being plus 500, I think I'm kind of with Colby. We might not see that price again, and.
Do you
And
take both Generals and Panthers and figure you're gonna have
I
one?
think so because they're going to have a scenario like we see in the XFL. I know the Breakers are 2-0, but they don't look good. They're 2-0. They've gotten it done. They haven't looked great though.
Well, their defense doesn't look good. Is really the issue.
Well, the Breakers are going to get in by default because Memphis and Houston are their other.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
So you're going to have the North with 3 good teams. Someone's going to get screwed there. So I love the Birmingham play still at 200, and then you go. I think you go with either Michigan or New Jersey because 2 of those 3 are making it.
Key takeaways for me for spring football leagues: you get division winners and then wild cards. We gotta stop this. It's. I mean, this league's clearly unbalanced.
Yeah, so
Clearly,
But at least they have to me they have 4 quality teams. Whereas you jump over
Who's
to the
4?
XFL, the Michigan.
No, it's tier 1 Birmingham, tier 2 New Jersey, tier 3 Michigan.
I think Michigan and New Jersey
and then
are on the
Philly
same
is
level.
holding on to the
Oh,
ledge.
No, Philly's
Right.
still good, man.
Philly's
we,
still
we got a
good.
bounce back game.
Yeah.
Kukis is about to.
I'll give you Michigan and Philly both half good teams. So
Dude, I'm
3
just
total.
saying, if you line them up against some of those XFL teams, I think they would whoop their ass.
Well, yeah, that's because
If only there was a way to
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
If
Sean,
only
again.
there was a way to have the USFL play the XFL in some sort of ultimate spring football league.
Here's what we do after the XFL.
and you can call it the USFL.
After the $1 million championship
And the Freedom Cup.
We put no. After the $1 million championship,
We invite the 2 winners to Canton
we put out a
for the
graphic.
Fantasy Football Expo.
Yeah, we get Bob on the horn. We coordinate a field, so we get the field, and then we say here we put out an invitation to the $1 million Cup winner, inviting them to the Spring Football Championship. They've won the XFL Conference Championship. Would they like to proceed to the Spring Football Championship? We do the same to the Freedom Cup winner.
Yep.
And honestly, like fuck it, we'll just play at Occidental if we need to. They want to come out to California.
Why don't we call it the Spring Football Super Championship? Because we probably couldn't call it Super Bowl, but we call it the Super Championship.
What about the Blossom Bowl? Because spring, you know.
Colby always trying to crowbar pageantry in a classic college football fan. Yeah, we can get a marching band and have
Band should always be involved with sports.
Play it on the mall at the Capitol. That's called the Cherry Blossom Cup.
Cherry Blossom Bowl.
The Cherry Blossom Cup.
Say it.
To have a moment of silence over by the memorial.
We don't. You know what? We don't call it a bowl. That's for the top level.
No, I'm saying we call it Super Championship.
What are you talking about? There's the fucking the Rice-A-Roni Bowl going on in college football.
That's top level.
What about Bud Bowl?
You can't. You have to be the top
Bud
of your
Bowl,
thing.
but it's weed.
Oh,
I like that one.
The Cannabis Cup.
the football players
you
are
don't
kind
like
of
that
square
cup?
when it comes to smoking weed.
You don't like the Cannabis Cup?
That I don't know how I mean, we could definitely get sponsors for that.
All right, let's get to the picks. What do we got? USFL
Breakers. I tried. I started, and then you guys wanted to talk futures. 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. Breakers and Stallions. This is a battle between two undefeated teams. -6 for the Stallions, -240 on the money line. Breakers +200. 48.5 is the total. Why would I not put a massive bet down on the Birmingham Stallions right now?
I don't know. It's insane. Like their offense. Again, obviously they were
Colby,
going up
please
against the Showboats. Some people thought on the show the Showboats were going to give them a scrappy performance. The Showboats suck, but the Stallions have shown you they're a well-oiled machine that's going to run all over you. In New Orleans, their defense has been piss poor to start the season.
They got that 35-year-old quarterback though that is actually pretty good, but I have a lot of concerns. You got
I guess you could say like, hey, New Orleans certainly has the ability to put up the points to backdoor this, but I just think Birmingham's going to run away with
backdoor. They didn't leave the fucking back door open last week.
Yeah, and they didn't even have. I think Scarborough's healthy now.
They didn't leave the back door open against the Generals, who are a fucking good team.
Skip Holtz, baby.
All right. So do I lay 6 or do I do some sort of money line parlay with -240? Because
come on, lay 6.
All right. I'm very confident in this play, but maybe there's 2 mega plays this week. I don't know. All right. In a game that doesn't need to happen for anyone, 4 p.m. on the West Coast, Memphis.
Look, the first game's on USA Network. Good luck finding that.
Okay.
Unless you're watching Walker, Texas Ranger.
I'm a big burn notice guy.
Hey, we're going to give you a primetime game of Memphis and Houston.
Yeah. On Saturday during the draft.
Moose Johnson, give me a call. 1-800-PICK-DUNDee.
Memphis is away here in Memphis against Houston Gamblers. These fucking idiots. -3 for Houston, -150 on the money line. Memphis +130. 43.5 is the total. These teams both suck.
I think we got to take Memphis.
How do you not take Memphis? They're a road home team catching 3. And honestly, you made be honest. Whoever made this line is probably missing the fact that Memphis is at home. Yeah, they're like, it's -3, right?
Well, why? Yeah, why is Houston a road favorite? That makes no sense.
Home. They're home.
And Memphis got embarrassed. Yeah. They got destroyed 42-2. This is the close your eyes special ride. I don't think we've had a close your eyes special yet in the spring league.
Doesn't work. So it doesn't work because the close your eyes special works in the NFL because
they're all professional.
There's a baseline
players.
Of talent. The idea that every team is good because at minimum you're an NFL player, that doesn't apply to spring football. And we've seen there's a wide range. Again, the teams like the Generals and the Stallions are a full year ahead. It's a massive advantage.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this game. How do you not take Memphis +3?
Yeah, Memphis +3 all day. Right. I mean, they hung around and looked okay against the Stars, but yeah, I mean, they just that Birmingham game was just hilarious. I think it's more about how good Birmingham is, and to Ryan's point, how they really are a tier above everyone else.
Again, I'm in the club sports streets all the time. When you come across a team that's 12 months ahead of you, you don't expect to win. Yeah. That's Birmingham in this league, unfortunately, for everyone else. All right, let's move across to Sunday, 9 a.m. We're heading to Detroit. The Dome is open on this Sunday. Pittsburgh, the Maulers, they're taking on Philly, the Stars, in a home game for Philly. -6.5 for the Stars, -240 on the money line. Pittsburgh +200. 42 is the total. I understand it's going to be very difficult for Pittsburgh to make the postseason, and maybe they should start tanking for next year already.
Whoa! It might be very difficult. They haven't scored an offensive touchdown yet.
18 points without scoring an offensive touchdown. That's almost impressive. This team's horrible, but where would they finish in the South?
This is a great bounce back spot for Philly, for the Stars at home in Detroit. Minus 6.5 all day. Again, Pittsburgh's offense, to Colby's point, they have not scored an offensive touchdown. Tough to imagine they're going to start doing it come Sunday. So yeah, give me the Stars all day.
So we're okay.
Hammer it.
We're okay with the Stars.
This reminds me of the Generals play last week.
We're fine with the Stars defense.
Stars defense.
We're not going to mention the Stars defense.
Well, especially against Pittsburgh's offense, we're not going to learn anything. I mean, Pittsburgh can't throw the forward pass. Meanwhile, the Stars are. I think they cater to the dome. Their style of play, like they like to sit back there and throw the ball like 50 times a game. So I think this is going to work out for them. I think you got it. This is like the play last week you did for the Generals.
Yeah.
I
Really?
think it's going to be like. I think it's going to be like. I think it's going to be like 35 to like 7.
We have 2 mega whale plays.
Yeah.
All right. I'm on Philly as well. Maybe we do a Birmingham Philly teaser.
The irony of calling yourself the Maulers and just keep getting your ass kicked is pretty funny.
I expect to see like 2 Russians playing with a bear. New Jersey, the Generals, 1 p.m. here on Sunday. This is potentially the best thing going on.
This is the best game.
Hold on. There's NBA and NHL playoffs going on.
Oh, this is definitely better than the NBA playoffs.
Depends who you talk to. I personally agree because this is a battle between 2 of the best teams in the USFL.
There's no opting out.
The NJGs taking on the Michigan Panthers. Michigan at home here. We discussed it earlier. Both 5-1 to win the championship. One of these teams will have a nice path to face Birmingham. And USFL does the cross. That's why we were confused about. Did they do the cross last year? I don't think they did. No, because Philadelphia played New Jersey, and Philadelphia had the upset. You're right.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
I don't know where you're getting this cross thing from.
Because it's a more optimal scenario. And
it's back-to-back years of a Philly team beating a Jersey team in postseason play.
Wow.
How's that for crossfire? All right.
If you were looking for a cross reference, Ryan.
Well, in this case, Colby is telling me watch out for those Michigan Panthers.
I mean, you can't give this Generals team plus 4.5. That's crazy.
This line went up too. It opened at 3.
This should be a field goal at best. Like, what have you seen from the Generals that make them that big of a dog?
And that fact that they're going to get. I thought they were going to get Trey Williams back last week. I think they're getting him back this week. You mix him with Darius Victor.
Again, the Stallions kicked the Generals' ass week 1, but I think that's just how good the Stallions are, not necessarily a reflection on the Generals, who are still
and the Generals actually outgained by the Stallions by like 150 yards that game.
I was gonna say I actually think that's keeping the same reason I smashed them last week. And did we sweat?
No, not at all.
What will we sweat this week? Because I'm tempted just to smash the money line. I don't see how they lose by over.
I mean, I think Michigan is much better. There's the one team in the league that I think is just way. I did not expect them to be this. Like, they can move the ball.
But New Jersey is in the same tier as Birmingham in that, like, the majority of the team is from last year.
Yeah,
like they're running
a lot
it
of
back.
Consistency. Yeah, and the Panthers, I think they've upgraded by not having Jeff Fisher coach the team.
I mean, to be fair, Michigan had the same roster as last year too, but it's just they don't have Fisher.
I just don't. I think at 4.5, you have to take. the Generals.
I'm with you.
This should be a good game at the very least.
How much money do I have in this account? All right, let's see what the max is I can get down this week.
Ryan, time for the lock and dog, brought to you by Shady Rays. ShadyRays.com, promo code SGPN. Get that 50% off. What do you got, Kramer?
It kind of sounded like you accidentally said dong instead of dog. Maybe I don't know what's on your mind. I just wanted to let you know.
No, that was Chris Collinsworth.
All right, I'm very torn. There are a lot of very obvious situations here. I think the optimal strategy here is probably to lock up Birmingham and or Philadelphia. So I'll lock up Birmingham because they're clearly the best team in the league, and I'll dog up the Generals. I mean, I feel like we should be putting maximum money on parlays this week.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think there's a It's
We're giving
hard to
away
get-
a freedom parlay.
It's
well,
hard.
we can the parlay. We have a parlay for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Why wouldn't we? I guess we could have it linger till Sunday if we wanted to.
Yeah, maybe it'll make it in the Shady Rays parlay, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady to get in for your chance to win our parlay. I like keeping it the parlay of the day, but maybe on Saturday we also tag some Sunday stuff in. As much as I want to differentiate from Ryan, how do you not take Birmingham -6? They are just a buzzsaw. Gonna shred the Breakers, and then the Generals at the price. I mean, no one needs to bet on this Memphis Houston game. So yeah, Generals on the money line.
Real quick, getting everyone up to date with the dollars and cents before Colby locks it up. Back to the XFL real quick. Not surprisingly, Houston getting all the money. So Arlington, a very unpopular dog, but Seattle catching way more of the money than DC right now. So that's quite puzzling, even for a
Beer
sharp like
Snake's
myself.
gonna take down the Sea Dragon.
For the USFL, Birmingham obviously getting more than 92% of the handle. Philly getting north of 95% of the handle, and Michigan getting over 93% of the handle. Here's the shocking one. Well, that's shocking to me, but also Houston, 80%.
That
What am I?
I would love to see that handle.
It's true. I haven't gotten down with my action yet.
Yeah,
so.
that could actually. All of a sudden, it's gonna cut in half.
Will I move the line?
Once Mega Spring Whale Kramer gets in there. Colby, what do you got? Lock and dog.
We're
Let's
locking
go.
up the Stars -6.5,
Love it. Kukas, the lasers.
and the dog. We're taking with how much money coming on Michigan? I feel like because I was originally going to say Memphis. How about we just take Memphis and parlay that with the Generals?
Memphis money line.
Yeah, Memphis money line,
Generals
money
money
line. Yeah.
You know what?
Woo.
I'm
What does that pay,
Hold
Kramer?
on.
That's got to be like 10-1,
I've actually been inspired. I'm just going to run the money line.
or maybe not 10-1.
I'm parlaying all the teams I like on the money line this week. I'll tell you what that plays first. Oh, these.
While Kramer's working that up, make sure you tune in to our mock draft tonight. If you're catching this on Wednesday night, 4:00 Pacific, and you got tomorrow night with the NFL draft, our live draft watch party.
Oh, these cowards will. They will.
They're not letting you.
They're not
parlay
letting me
it.
parlay.
They're maxing you out.
Well, they know what's going on.
But
Hey.
don't you like that angle?
Wait,
The
hold on.
Memphis money line with Jersey.
Can I?
I said you don't need to bet on it, but it doesn't mean I won't.
Can't do spreads or.
Ryan's gonna try and hack the mainframe over there.
They
Hey,
won't let us get down on the parlays.
make sure you that subscribe button. Will be back later tonight on YouTube if you're watching live for our mock draft.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan
Max plays on Birmingham and New Jersey. Let's go.
Kramer. Let it ride.